issue we have with Travis's family and why we don't talk to them. Hey guys, it's Channon Rose, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a Q&A. I asked you guys over on Instagram to ask me anything you wanted, and I'm going to answer truthfully. So I screenshotted a bunch of your questions and we are just going to get right into them. Okay, the first question is any updates on Travis's family? So if you are new here, actually first hold on, wait. In case you see something on my shirt, it is a coffee stain. It is not dried cum, so I just want to like put that out there. Okay, Travis's family. So I actually did an update about this over on my Patreon, and the reason I put it on Patreon and not here because I had put prior videos here about the whole issue we have with Travis's family and why we don't talk to them. I put it over there just mainly for more like privacy reasons. There's a lot less people over on Patreon, and just out of like respect for Travis because of what's going on, I put it there. So hopefully you guys can understand and appreciate that. That doesn't mean that I might not talk about it here in the future. I might, but as of right now we're just keeping it over on Patreon. What the fuck is going on between you and Bree? I feel like randomly there was drama with nothing beforehand. Okay, so I am not going to comment on this right now for quite a few reasons, but I plan to in the future about all of that. Boy names you are thinking of for baby number 2. So we have a name that my mom really likes and that I really like, and Travis really likes it too. So it's a possibility, but we still don't have like 100% definitive boy name yet. So please keep sending in any unique names that you guys know of because we're still kind of looking. Autumn says update on books. So I'm assuming maybe you're talking about the audio books. I have just been slacking so hard. I have all the equipment for it, but I'm doing it all myself, which means I need to figure out how to do an audiobook on my own, and there's a lot more that goes into it than just like, oh, I'm just talking and reading my book into a microphone and then uploading it. It's really technical. There's a lot of rules on like how to do it, and I don't know how to do any of it. I've never done that before, so I've just been kind of procrastinating because I'm like, it's so much work, but I really do need to do it, and it's something that has been bothering me that I haven't done, so please know it is in the works. It'll get done one of these days, I promise. Someone says, are you delaying your implant removal and IVF due to the virus? So yes and no. The implant removal, I have spoken to the doctor. They're not shut down, and he still says it's very urgent for me, like health-wise, and because it's causing pain to get it out. It's in 3 weeks, my surgery, as of when I'm filming this now, and I'm filming this right now March 19th. So as of right now, we're still planning on doing the explant because he said I should. So I'm just trusting him, and it's a private office with a private surgery center and like operating room. So it's not going to be in a hospital. I'm not going to be taking away from anybody, you know, that would need to go to a hospital. And the doctor seems to think that it's pretty urgent to get them out and doesn't want to wait. So I'm just trusting him, and we're still planning on doing that. As far as the IVF thing, that's still a while down the road. And so when I am healed up from the explant surgery, and if, you know, all goes according to plan and I actually get the implants out and I heal up from it, then I'll kind of go from there. I don't know what's going to be happening. You know, like each day something new comes up and we're like, oh shit. So I'm kind of just like wait and see at this point with everything, even the implant removal, because even though the doctor said and we're still planning on having that, things can change tomorrow. So I really don't know yet. But yeah, what is the hardest part of doing YouTube for you other than the demonetization stuff? I love my job. Honestly, I couldn't ask to do anything else. I am so passionate about what I do that even if I didn't make money from this, I would continue to do it. I just probably maybe wouldn't be able to do it as much because I'd have to have another like full-time job and I wouldn't have the time. But thank God for Patreon, because that is what allows me to keep doing what I'm doing. So it's not so much the demonetization, like, yeah, our video's not making money here is a bummer. And I think a lot of people don't realize how many videos actually we don't make money from. Like you would never think like, oh, this is gonna get the ads pulled for this reason. So it sucks and it's frustrating because you do a lot of hard work and you want to be compensated for it, but that's not always the case. So I think the hardest thing is like not just the frustrating part about that and like the rules and regulations like changing all the time, but one of the biggest things is the bullying that you get when you put yourself out online. I think that because some people think, well, they put themselves out online so they should know that people are gonna say mean things or do fucked up things to them, and I don't think that just because you put yourself on YouTube that it warrants it okay for people to like bully or stalk or, you know, do really shitty things to you. So I think that is the hardest part, like the mental health. I think any YouTuber could probably agree with me that that is a really hard thing to handle. Just imagine every single day constantly just being told awful things, or, you know, people going after your family, and family is completely innocent and has nothing to do with anything, and like that they're just crazy people out in the world, and you put yourself out there, and when you have a certain amount of followers, even if you don't have a lot of followers, you're bound to get some freaking weirdos and trolls that are gonna want to come after you because they're jealous or have mental issues, you know? So I think that's the hardest part of YouTube, is having to deal with all of that. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. What do you use to mount your camera to the mirror when you film your Get Ready With Me videos? That is a great question. I will actually go ahead and try, if I can remember, to link it down below. If I don't remember, please keep commenting about it and I'll see it and try to post it. And I'll also try to post it in my Amazon storefront. And I always have a link in the description box to my Amazon storefront, and that is where I put links to like majority of the things people ask me about. So definitely always check the description for that link. Why do YouTubers ignore me when I ask them a question or message? It makes me sad. Oh, don't be sad. Know that most YouTubers, we get a lot of messages, and so most of them we don't even see. So just keep that in mind. Know that just because we don't respond, it doesn't mean that we're ignoring you. It means that we most likely did not even see your message. I respond to as many people as I can, but I'll never be able to respond to everybody or see every single message. But don't stop messaging just because you didn't get a response. If you continue to be like persistent, most likely we're gonna end up seeing your message and you'll get a response. If you could pick anywhere to be quarantined, don't worry about money, where and why? Target! If no one was there, like if I had to be quarantined, no one was there, like that would be my go-to, because it has everything, food, everything, you know, we could set Snow up in one of the cribs there. I think it'd be fun. Did you guys ever see that movie where the chick has a baby in Walmart? I love that movie. It was like from a while ago with Natalie Portman, and she like lived in the Walmart. That was awesome. All right. How is you and Travis's marriage going lately, and what hair products do you use? Travis and I's marriage is actually amazing right now, and I just want to say people's marriages, if you think that they look perfect on Instagram or whatever, just know there's no such thing as a perfect marriage. Everyone fights, everyone argues, everyone has problems. They just might not show it to you, especially not online, because they think it's inappropriate or they're very private about that stuff. We are not. We post the good, the bad, and the ugly, and that is because I wish other people did the same so that I didn't feel so alone. And hopefully us posting about, you know, when Travis and I were going through like marital problems might have helped some of you guys feel less alone. We did therapy and we are doing really good in our marriage right now. But you know, in a year from now we could be fighting again, because that's just life, right? So we just know that like we need to work through our problems, and we communicate really well, and we are together 24/7, and for the amount of time that we're together, we get along really well. So thank you for asking. We're doing great. As far as hair products, as of right now, I don't put any product in my hair, and the main reason for that is because I don't wash my hair every day, and I feel like if I put product in my hair, I would feel like it gets on my pillow at night. I just feel like it would make me break out and get on my skin and my face. So I don't use product like after I get out of the shower. I did a little bit use It's a 10 like leave-in conditioner, but I stopped using that for a while, so I haven't really used anything. How do you not listen to the mom shamers on social media? Sometimes I do actually listen to them because they have constructive criticism, and they might not be saying it in a nice way, but I always will read comments, and if they're able to help me in some way, I'm always gonna take from that. So sometimes I get messages of people mom shaming me for something that's like really dumb, like, oh, you put your kid in pajamas every day or something. If my kid is not going outside and she's comfortable in her pajamas, like I'm not gonna put her in an outfit that's uncomfortable for her when she's gonna be in the house the majority of the day, you know? So stuff like that doesn't bother me. I think it bothers other people, like the way that I dress my kid, and I think that that's silly. So those type of things, you know, I kind of laugh it off. Another thing is like I would get certain things like Snow looks so unhappy, or it looks like she has, what was this one person was always commenting, trying to say that like Snow was like not developing properly, like mentally, basically trying to say that Snow was mentally retarded. And it was the same person always in the comments. You know, at first, like I said, I always try to take things like into consideration because I think people might be trying to actually be helpful. And so at first I was like, I wonder if that's true or not. This is my first kid. And so, you know, at the doctor, I don't like freak out or worry, but like at the doctor, I would just say like, you know, is she developing normally, like mentally? And he was like, absolutely, everything's fine. And so then I realized like, okay, I'm being mom shamed, or like people are just trying to scare me or make me feel bad or be mean and say mean things about Snow, or say like your kid is so ugly. Like anybody that says those things, I really just feel bad for them. And I also can't really take them seriously because obviously they have issues. Like I would never say to someone like your kid is ugly. Like who says that? You have to be really fucked up to say some shit like that, or to say like anything mean about someone's kid. That's just wrong. How do I not listen to them? Well, I do listen to them, but I just choose to ignore them. Do you miss doing porn? No, I have like nostalgia about certain parts of doing it, but I don't want to go do it again. Pros and cons of being a YouTuber. There's so many pros. I've got to meet people I would have never been able to meet. I've made tons of friends through YouTube. YouTube. I've learned so much from it, and I love being able to have a platform to help other people, to share my story, to hopefully get people to learn from my mistakes. Lord knows I've made a lot, and also there's way more pros than there are cons, so that's why I'm still here. This is the best job ever. I'm so grateful. Every day I wake up and I'm like, I'm so lucky that I get to do this. Some of the cons, I would say it could be very frustrating at times. It's a lot more work than people think. A lot goes on behind the scenes. So like filming a video is the easiest part. That's like 10% of the work that we do. The 90% of work that we do is like behind the scenes, editing, you know, calls, emails. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. So yeah, that, and then the bullying and the shaming and people just thinking that because you make YouTube videos that they can blast you and put your life and things that are private and make them public. For instance, the whole thing with like Nikki tutorials, people like blackmailing her and just like doing really fucked up shit. There's parts that are not good about it. But like I said, we all keep doing it because there's way more pros than there are cons. Were you disappointed to have all boy embryos and not a sister for Snow? I wouldn't say I was disappointed. I think I was more shocked than anything because I just wasn't expecting that. And so it took me a minute to like process everything. So if I look disappointed, it definitely wasn't that. I was just blown away by those results. If Snow wanted to go into the adult entertainment industry, would you support her? Absolutely. I think I'm going to support Snow no matter what she wants to do, as long as it's not illegal and hurting anybody. Will you ever get implants again? Assuming breast implants. As of now, absolutely not. Ooh, this is a hard one. What do you suggest for people whose jobs close and unemployment takes weeks? Honestly, I don't know. I know here in our community, like we've done everything we can to help as many people as we can right now that aren't able to afford groceries and supplies. Just a few days ago, I posted on, and I know a few other influencers had done this also, where we posted on our like Instagram saying, please reach out, especially single moms that have babies that aren't able to get formula or can't afford it. And we sent literally like all the money that we had in our account after getting stuff for ourselves to people that needed it. So I've tried helping as much as I can, and I don't know, it like puts a pit in my stomach. What's happening with the paranormal activity in your house? So I actually have footage of one of the doors, Snow's door to be exact, opening and closing on its own when there are no windows open. It's terrifying. I freaked out and my phone shut off. It wouldn't turn on, so I couldn't call anybody. I was by myself. Snow was sleeping in our room in her pack and play right here. Travis had gone for it. It was nighttime. It was so scary. So I'm thinking of posting that video. I just think right now is not really appropriate time to do that. But yeah, that happened. And it's weird because sometimes stuff happens and then for a really long time nothing happens. So I need to sage the house. Are you still close with Jessica since your move to Los Angeles? Yes, we talk all the time still. And she actually came to visit before all this stuff was going on. She came to visit, and there should be vlog footage that's already up or going to be up soon with her in it. This is from Jess, actually. How funny. Who's more of a germaphobe, you or Travis? I know the answer. Definitely Travis. Are girls in porn ever scared of getting pregnant and not knowing which guy is the dad? I'm sure if they're not on birth control, they are. How are you managing your anxiety right now? I know I'm struggling. It's so funny. Like, I have really bad health anxiety, and right now you would think that it would be like crazy, but I am like abnormally calm. Everything going on, and I think a lot of my anxiety is like really irrational stuff. Sometimes it's not, but sometimes it is, and certain things trigger, and I think mine is more like post-traumatic stress disorder stuff. So like certain smells, if I don't know where they're coming from, it could be like a perfume smell, like in a plane. I remember I was on a plane and I had smelled a smell and I didn't know where it was coming from, and it was really freaking me out, and it instantly triggered a panic attack. So stupid stuff like that makes me freak out, you know, and think I'm gonna die. And then scary stuff like this happens worldwide, and I'm like totally fine about it. I mean, I'm concerned and I'm nervous, and I think I'm like the normal level of anxiety, but with my anxiety, I'm just shocked that it's not worse. I'm on day 3 of staying home for 4 weeks and I'm going psycho. Girl, same. All of us, I think, are kind of like, that's why I'm doing everything I can to try to film as much content as I can for you guys to hopefully keep you somewhat sane, at least when you're watching my videos. Will I postpone IVF because of what's going on? Well, it's already being postponed. So depending on if it's still going on, you know, a few months from now, which probably it will be, then yes, I will postpone. Do your Patreon videos ever get uploaded to YouTube? Some of them do, but not all of them. A lot of them are exclusive and only for patrons. How do you feel about people who try to use you for things? Unfortunately, this has happened to me one too many times. Recently, some stuff has happened, and if you're on my Patreon, you know about it. I feel sad. It's hurtful, you know? That's really all I can say about that. How come you don't do lives anymore? I don't do live streams because I feel like they they can get me in trouble, and I'm already in enough trouble as it is most of the time, so trying to lay low. Doesn't mean I don't like doing lies. I'll do them once in a while. How is Snow's hemangioma? It's doing great. For those of you guys that don't know, it's a little red bump on my daughter's head. She was kind of born with it. It's a pretty common thing actually, and it's actually lightening up a lot and going down, and her hair is starting to cover it, so it's doing really well. Thank you for asking. Stalker update. This is something I haven't talked about in a while, but still dealing with. I actually stopped talking about it because I feel like sometimes when I talk about it, it like enables them even more, and then sometimes if I talk about it, it scares them and makes them like back off a little bit. So it just really depends, but I haven't talked about it recently, and I don't know if I'm going to or not, but there's definitely been some messed up stuff going on with stalker stuff, and I don't know if it's the same person. It's definitely not the same stalker from my last house. This one's totally different. This one's a girl or a woman. What will you teach Snow about what you learned from being on YouTube or being an influencer? That's such a good question. I think that there's a lot of things I can teach her. I think one of them is not everybody's gonna like you, and you kind of have to know that, especially like when you are in the public eye or are an influencer or something like that. You just have to know there's gonna be people that are jealous of you or envious of you, are gonna be mean to you, and to not let it affect you, and don't take it personal, because it's not personal. It's all stuff that they have going on and that they're just projecting. So hopefully I can teach her that way, like she doesn't have issues with like bullying or anything like that. Because when you are in a good place and you're happy, you don't talk shit about other people. That's just facts. Someone said, please post the going out video on YouTube, please. So I just posted a video on my Patreon. It was a vlog, why I left my house when I was on quarantine and why, and some of the crazy stuff that I saw while I was out. And I specifically and strategically placed that video on Patreon because it would not be allowed here on YouTube. So if I could post it here, I would, but I can't. So that's why it's on Patreon. What scares me the most about what's going on right now is the question. And gosh, I think the scariest thing is like how many people are panicking and buying food, and there not being food for people, and formula for babies, and diapers and wipes, and the elderly people that aren't able to get food because they're not as able-bodied to be able to get to a grocery store and get everything they need. I think that's one of the scariest things, because even now, like, we're having to ration food in our house because there's not food for us at the grocery store. And I know like a lot of what's being said is like, oh, there's not like a food shortage, but there is where I live. I've gone to all the stores. There's food there, but there's a lot of stuff that we eat that is not available to us. Thankfully, we're vegan, and a lot of the vegan food is still left. Hallelujah. No one wants the vegan food, and I'm like, there's no better time to be vegan than right now. But yeah, like we're definitely rationing and making sure that we eat our fresh food and save our frozen food and our canned food, because we don't have that at our grocery stores. They're restocking, but by the time we get there, it's gone. So that's definitely a scary thing. And just like, I don't know, a lot of things that I want to talk about, but I can't here. And so we'll most likely go on Patreon because YouTube won't allow it. And it's also like a lot more controversial stuff that I would be saying. Have you ever had an eating disorder? And if so, how do you overcome it? Yes, I did have a really bad eating disorder. I almost died. I was hospitalized for it multiple times. I talk all about it in my book, and it just took time for me to like grow. I was younger and a teenager. I think during that time, you're a lot more like vulnerable to what your body looks like and how you feel about yourself, and your self-esteem is just not the best. At least it wasn't for me. And as I've gotten older, I've learned to accept myself for the way that I am, and learn to love myself and know that I'm beautiful in my own way, and that it makes me like special and different. Just because you look a certain way and other people can be like, wow, your body is amazing, you can totally think that you are the ugliest, fattest person in the world, and it doesn't matter what other people think. It matters what you think about yourself at the end of the day. And it's also a disease, so therapy and a lot of time to grow. Okay, last question, because this video is getting long. Any advice on weaning off a bottle? My son won't give it up. 14 months. Okay, so we still give Snow a bottle right now. She is older than 14 months. She's 17 months now, but I breastfed, and I had to wean her from breastfeeding. That was really hard because she was not ready to give up breastfeeding. Because I was doing IVF, I had to stop. So in order to transition her from breastfeeding to a bottle, and even now it's been like 2.5 months, and she still sometimes tries to go for my boob, and I'm not even producing milk anymore. So for me, something I think that would be beneficial is having lots of different types of cups. So we have like a sippy cup with a straw. We have the sippy cup like where you tip it and she like sucks from like the rim of the cup. And we also will give her just a cup to drink out of. You know, we help her with it. And then we give her a bottle for milk. So we've kind of introduced everything, so she's really familiar with all the different cups and stuff. And so I think that if we gave her milk in a different cup, she might be fine with it. But right now we're just keeping a bottle for her because it's like comforting for her, and she only gets it like, you know, she doesn't get it that often. But like if she tries to go for my boob, we give her the bottle because it's something similar to her breastfeeding. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm definitely not an expert on that at all. I only have one kid, but that's just what we've been doing. So that's my suggestion. And I hope that you guys enjoyed enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments what kind of video do you guys want to see next. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you all my love and all my positive energy, and I hope to see you in my next video.
Regardless of cash, regardless of wealth, I never got handouts, I did this myself. Prove I got something to show. Nobody got nothing on Rose. I got the clout, I got a following. Yeah, you can hate, but you gotta acknowledge it. I got a story and I'm gonna tell it. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna sell it. Channon Rose, I'm an example of how